So Marjorie Taylor Greene just announced that she will be resigning from her position in Congress in January. But she has something, I guess you could say, profound to say. Not really profound, because this is something that the After Pill has been saying for the longest. I've been saying exactly what she's about to say for the longest. And you know what? People probably still not wake up and smell the coffee, but let's go ahead and play exactly what she went on and said.
I've always represented the common American man and woman as a member of the House of Representatives, which is why I've always been despised in Washington, D.C., and just never fit in. Americans are used by the political industrial complex of both political parties, election cycle after election cycle, in order to elect whichever side can convince Americans.
So, what did she say again? She said that both sides of the aisle, right? Both sides of the aisle, both the cuckazoids, the Republican cucks, right? The cuckasauruses, the cuckservatives, and the libtards, right? They're both playing you, essentially. This is what she's saying. She said every election cycle is the same old thing. What have I been telling you? What has gotten better over the past 30, 40 years? Many of these things have been happening since before many of us, especially my generation, was born, right? It has been happening since many of you were children, if you're 30, 40 plus years old. This has been going on. Let's continue.
To hate the other side more. And the results are always the same. No matter which way the political pendulum swings, Republican or Democrat, nothing ever gets better for the common American man or woman. The debt goes higher, corporate and global interests remain Washington's sweet.
Nothing ever gets better, no matter which side of the aisle. I just said this, man. Nothing ever gets better, no matter which side of the aisle you vote on. They're all in cahoots. So tell me the After Pill ain't right. So now it's on a national stage now, right? Now somebody who was a part of MAGA, right? She's a very prominent congresswoman, right? And now she's speaking out and saying, hey, it ain't just the Republican Party. It's not just the liberals. It's not just the Democrats. It's everybody up in this shit. It's everybody up in here, right? They're talking about drain the swamp. The swamp is here, right? Donald Swamp and everybody and all of his juggernauts and everybody. Yeah, this is the swamp. Everybody up in here is the swamp, and they working hand in hand, taking from the American people each election cycle. Each election cycle, they could give a damn about the normal, everyday Joe Smo, and they continue to steal from you. They continue to make you believe like they're going to do something when they're really not. They're just going to continue to rob you and make you poorer and poorer, aka the middle class is gone. Let's continue.
Hearts. American jobs continue to be replaced, whether it's by illegal labor or legal labor by visas or just shipped overseas. Small businesses continue to be swallowed by big corporations. Americans' hard-earned tax dollars always fund foreign wars, foreign aid, and foreign interest, and the spending power of the dollar continues to decline. The average American family can no longer survive on a single breadwinner's income, as both parents have to work in order to simply survive. And today, many in my children's generation feel hopeless for their future.
The After Pill has been saying this, man. The After Pill is right on the money. What do I keep telling y'all? What is the reason? What is the reason for the major decline in relationships? It's strictly economics, right? It makes no economic sense. Many women don't view relationships and marriages in the same light anyway, outside of the economics. But then on top of that, you're telling me that this guy can barely make money, right? But then he wants me to quote unquote stay home, or I got to get with a man and also I got to be out here working at the same time. She just said it, right? The economy doesn't even allow, the current economy doesn't allow for marriages to really thrive, right? The current economy doesn't even allow men, right, traditionally, to be men. It doesn't allow for it. It doesn't allow most men to be heads of households, right? It doesn't allow for you to really to even make as much money as you can because wages are not keeping up with inflation and the cost of living. It's just a lose-lose situation, right? So what do? You get a bunch of kids that go into the public indoctrination camps, right? You get a bunch of kids who are raised on dang on school lunch, right? Propaganda and whatever the teacher teaches them, whatever the state wants to teach them, right? You have no control over your kids. And guess what? They get cycled through the system just like you did, right? It's a 360 effect. This 360 is what keeps the rich families rich, the wealthy families wealthy, right? The high middle class, and the everybody else in poverty, keep them in poverty. This is how this goes, right? Let's continue.
And don't think they will ever realize the American dream. And that breaks my heart. There is no plan to save the world or a 4D chess game being played. When common American people realize and understand that the political industrial complex of both parties is ripping this country apart, that not one elected leader like me is able to stop Washington's machine from gradually destroying our country, and instead the reality is that they, common Americans, the people, possess the real power over Washington, then I'll be here by their side to rebuild it. Until then, I'm going back to the people that I love, to live my life to the fullest as I always have, and I look forward to a new path ahead. I'll be resigning from office with my last day being January 5th, 2026.
Listen, man, she ain't coming back. Major Taylor Greene is not coming back, right? She said, she basically what I keep telling you ninjas, right? To hell with you ninjas. That's basically what she said. Basically, that this was the nice way of saying, yeah, all of them are corrupt and all of them are taking your money. All of them are stealing. All of them really don't care about you. But yeah, when you ninjas wake up and smell the coffee, I'll be right here waiting for you. Yeah, no, actually, I won't. Right? She basically saying, yeah. It's do or die. Basically, this is what she's saying. This was a nice way of saying, the sweet white woman way of saying, yeah, you ninjas are on your own. Basically, she said, yeah, the rabbit holes goes deep, and yeah, I got a letter. I also got a letter in the mail saying they were going to Charlie Kirk my ass if I kept talking, if I didn't resign from my position, right? Listen, the rabbit hole goes so deep that some holes you just don't want to go in. Some holes you just don't want to poke your little Peter Whacker in. Some holes you just gotta stay out of. And this one of those holes that she went too deep in, right? She went way too deep in. And now she's climbing herself out and saying, yeah, this is not it, right? And this is what I've been telling y'all. Right? You keep trying to put your life in the hands of Trump. Why are men especially? Why are men in this country, Americans, they're such cucks, right? They're so cucked out, right? And I blame this on the celebrity industrial complex, right? There's so many complexes and dang on mind-boggling games that are at play in America on a psychological level. Is ridiculous. But I blame this on the celebrity industrial complex, right? Americans really, and people in general, praise celebrities, praise people of higher status, right? And, usually that comes with, giving them, green lights and giving them grace, even when it's undeserving, just because they're your favorite celebrity, just because they're your favorite person, right? And Americans worship people that they like it's no tomorrow. They worship them like gods, right? And it's just so crazy to me that many of the magtards, many of the cucks, right? They'll praise a man who's clearly anti-American, who's clearly pushing policies and giving money away that is clearly anti-American, that is clearly not helping American people. But you still have so many men, cucks, right, who back a man just because they like his personality, just because they like how he do his hair, just because they like that he talk in third grade terms for their stupid ass to understand, right? That they don't care about actual America. This is what I'm starting to realize, right? This is why she's stepping away from the podium. This is also why the after pill said to hell with most of you. Right now, the ones who want to win, the ones who want to survive in a new world, make sure you hit that Patreon. Make sure you also sign up for the members, right? The YouTube members and the Patreon is now available. Make sure you sign up for that. For the ones who do want to survive, yeah, those are the ones that I only care about. Really, the 10 to 20% of people who really want to do something with their lives. But for the rest of you, you're so cucked out, you don't even understand what's going on. Neither do you want to understand what's going on, right? You're just gonna self-implode and go down with the ship, right? You the one that keep on you using a cup to scoop the water out of a ship in the middle of the ocean, right? This is America in a nutshell, right? It's okay, right? You using a cup, the water rushing in, right? The ocean water rushing in. You using a cup, right? Using a KFC cup because you're probably fat and a sloppaloposaurus, right? You're using a KFC cup to scoop water on about a ship that is sinking. Right, you think that one cup, right? It's a fuel, y'all. Right, y'all think all of y'all got cups, right? 100 of you got cups, right? You in the middle of the ocean, right? The Earth is 75% water, right? But you think for some reason that you've been to stop all of this water rushing in with cups, with KFC cups at that. It is not going to happen, right? You're going to go down with the ships. Yeah, you got idiots out here. Most Americans are idiots, right? And even with her saying this, guess what? People are going to go on about her. People are going to go on about their regular days. They're not going to listen, right? People really think that America's about to get saved. No, you're going down with the ship if you think that this shit is about to be saved. No. Well, and once again, and I've said this before, right? If you ever travel to anywhere in Latin America, if you really travel to the eastern side, the eastern side of the world, maybe the Philippines, maybe somewhere in Africa, what have you, right? But America's about to turn into a Brazil. When we talk about the wealth gap, right, to the extreme, America's about to turn into a Brazil. America's about to turn into a South Africa. America's about to turn into a Dominican Republic, right? America's about to turn into a Colombia, right? Y'all keep playing. Y'all think this is a game if y'all want to, right? It's already happening. You got women selling punani left and right. They selling that booty left and right, right? The men, guess what's happening to the men? The men are losing wages. They're losing jobs, right? They're not making any money. What you think is happening in those countries? See, the underdeveloped will become the new developed. That will become the new world, right? And America will be the place to visit. Come on now, y'all not paying attention. Y'all are not listening. America will become the place to visit, right? When you want to, indulge, get some stress out, because there's going to be so many women who need their rent paid. There's going to be so many women because the dollar's going to be overinflated, right? The dollar's not going to be as prominent as it was, right? There's going to be a time period where America's not going to be the same America as it is, I guess, even today, right? America's not even the same as it was 10 years ago, 20 years ago. But there's going to be a point in time, right? If you really think that this thing is going to be saved, you're out of your mind. Now, if you plan on being in the top 20, top 10%, now your story may end a little bit different, right? I already told you, right? There are going to be instances where there are going to be parts of the United States segmented off, right? There are going to be parts of your state segmented off, right, from wealthy to poverty, right? It was a movie that had showed this. It was a sci-fi movie. I forgot the name of it, but you had to pay a lot of money, or you had to have authorization to enter into the rich zones, right? And they had all the palm trees and the malls and the luxury and all the steak and the food. This is what it's gonna turn into. Y'all think this shit is a game, right? Y'all, and you gonna get people in the comments saying, "Oh, you fear mongering," and all. I'm not fear mongering. This is literally happening in real time. You're seeing a congresswoman say that they're both playing you, right? And now I'm not even saying that I even trust Major Taylor Greene, because she was off on a whole tangent when just last year, the past few years, even in the last administration, and now she had a change in heart. I don't know what happened to her. Maybe this was her come to Jesus moment. I don't know. Maybe she got a wake up call. Something scared her. Somebody spooked her in there. Well, I don't know. Maybe she had. Listen, something happened. But I don't trust her either. But at the same time, it speaks volumes when you have somebody of prominence like that within those circles, within the magatard circle, within the Caucasoid circle, who is basically saying that, hey, yeah, they're both stealing the money, right? There is no. She literally said there is no plan to save the world. There is no plan to save you. There is no plan for the American. There is no plan. Clearly, there is no plan. We've been operating on dang on, what you call that mode. We've been operating on automatic for the longest, right? We don't know who's controlling the ship. Even when Biden ass was in office, who was controlling it? Who was controlling the ship? At this point, listen, who knows? Just who knows? But y'all already seen for yourself. The after pill said this already. I've been telling y'all this already. Now, if you wanna adhere to the warnings, if you wanna adhere to the knowledge, then you'll be in a better place. But if you don't, you want to continue to be a normie, you want to continue to be an idiot, which 80% of y'all will be. You won't do nothing anyway. You're just gonna go down with the ship. Most of you want to go down with the ship anyway. Just listen, man. I don't even have nothing else to say. And this is an after pill. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, sign up for the Patreon, become a YouTube member, support the channel, and I'll see y'all guys in the next one. Peace. I built a life. I built a family. I worked my hands raw to get here, and I'm not done. This is the escape blueprint, PFP life, a way out of the grind and into control. You'll learn how I stack cash, build systems, and reclaim time so you can live on your own terms. You will watch me maneuver and grind towards the life that I achieve for myself, and you can also do the same. Join the circle, join the Patreon, learn the steps, and protect your freedom. The Escape Blueprint, PFP Life.